As a high school teacher who works in a semestered school, we're now right in the middle of the year because we just started the second semester. And it's so frustrating at this time of year because we're being told that we have to be careful of how much we print and photocopy because budgeting is tight, yet we don't have enough devices or Chromebooks in schools to provide kids with the opportunity to access learning electronically. And we know that at many schools, there are kids with families that can't afford to buy them their own laptop. And then I receive a memo that was forwarded to me by my principal. To be fair, the memo's not written by my principal, though. It was forwarded to me, and it's written by the chief financial officer and the general manager of finance. Here in Canada, we have the CRA, Canada Revenue Agency. We file our taxes through them. They do assessments on us and so on. And they're talking about this eligible educator school supply tax credit, where if you're an early childhood educator or teacher and any of the school supplies you've paid for in the last tax year are within $1,000, that you could put that on your income tax as a tax credit that you can claim. And at first, my reaction was, that's great, because I know people who go out and buy their own supplies, and that would be really great for them. And then shortly after, that turned into what the hell? Because at this point, it just doesn't seem fair. But I know that this has been the case for the last 10, 20, 30 plus years, that teachers spend their own money from their own pockets and paychecks to decorate their classrooms, to make sure they have pencil crayons and so on. And yes, schools are supposed to supply those, but what does a department budget do when it's tight? It stops buying supplies. And I just think it's so frustrating that now in 2026, we are still dealing with this. Publicly funded schools deserve adequate funding for supplies and technology so that we as teachers can plan our lessons and activities in a way so that it's accessible for all students, not students who can afford to have their own cell phone or to have their own tablet or Chromebook or laptop, but for everyone. For the kids who don't have their own devices, for the kids whose parents can't afford to pay for binders or lined paper, because we have all kinds of students from all socioeconomic backgrounds in our classes. This is frustrating.